students, in this video I'm going to explain how to multiply the decimal numbers, and this is from lesson 3. And before starting to that one, if you remember, there were this kind of exercises to understand better how to multiply the decimal numbers. Because if the numbers end with 0, or if the zeros are on the right side, we are adding the zeros. Like 2 times 7, it's going to be equal to 14. We are going to multiply 2 and 7 only. 2 times 7 is going to be equal to 14. Then 2 zeros to the end we are adding. So the answer becomes 1400. If I repeat here, first we are going to multiply the non-zero numbers 3 and 8, which is equal to 24. Then we are adding there are on the right side, and we are adding them. There are 1, 2, 3 zeros. 6 times 4, 24. It's going to be equal to 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 zeros there are. So the answer is going to be 24,000. Okay, this type of exercises we were solving like this. When we multiply with numbers with 0, ends with 0, you are cancelling one of the 0 and you are moving the decimal point 1 unit right. So it becomes like this number becomes like 0.3 decimal number. But you know, when you move the decimal number 1 unit right, there is no need to write the 0.3. So your answer is going to be only 3. So the question becomes like this: 20 times 3, because you move the decimal point 1 unit right. Then the 20 times 3, it's going to be equal to 60. Or with respect to upper part, how we were doing, we were multiplying the non-zero numbers. 5 times 8, it's going to be equal to 40. Then here, when you write the 0 in front of it, this is 10 to the power of minus 1, and you may cancel with this one. So 1 0 on the right side and 1 0 on the left side, you may cancel like this, and you will get 50. So there is only 1 0 here. So 50 times 8, it can be 400, or 5 times 8 is equal to 40. Then 1 0 we left here, and we put to the end. So 3 times 9, it's going to be equal to 27. This 0 and this 0 you simplified, so there is only 1 0 now. It can be like this. Okay, what we are going to do here, there is different solution for this one. 0.45 times 0.2, like I told you before, we are going to multiply firstly non-zero numbers. 45 times 2, it's going to be equal to 90. After that one, we are going to, these are both decimal numbers, so we are going to count from left to right the decimal units. There is 1 decimal unit here, and there are 2 decimal units here. So I'm going to totally 2 and 1 here. There are totally 3 decimal units we have here. So 1, 2, 3 decimal unit, and I'm going to place my decimal point here, which is going to be equal to 0.090. But if you remember, at the end, if you write after the decimal point, if the number ends with 0, there is no need to write that 0. So the answer is going to be 0.09. Okay, the next one. Firstly, I'm going to multiply 16 times 6. What it is, I'm going to write that one here. So 16 times 6, it is equal to 96. It's going to be. Then there are 2 decimal units here. There are 1 decimal unit here. So I'm going to count from the left to right. 1, 2, and 3. This is the place for the decimal point. So I'm going to write the decimal number here like this. It should be in front of the decimal. If there is no number, it should be 0. Then 0.096. I will write here 0.096 to show better. Okay, this is the third one, and I'm going to continue with the others. So there are 1 decimal unit, and here, there are 2 decimal units and 1 decimal unit here. 37 1 times, it's equal to 37. Then there are 2 decimal units here, 1 decimal unit here. So it's going to be 1, 2, and 3. This is the place for the decimal point. And I'm going to fill the empty places with 0 here, like this. Okay, this exercise and this exercise, it's same. only the difference, we are going to continue after the multiplication 4 decimal unit, because there are 2 decimal unit here, 2 decimal unit here. Totally there are 4 decimal 2 plus 2, 4 decimal units we have. So we are going to do like this. 4 times 75, it's going to be equal to 4 times 75, it's going to be equal to 300. 300 times 300, this is the answer, sorry. Then you are going to move to left 4 unit. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is the place for the decimal point. So this is the place that we put our decimal point, and I'm going to add the zeros. Okay, because there was an empty place here for the 0. Okay, let's do this one for the 36 times 3, pardon, 0.36 times 0.03. But we are going to multiply first the 36 and 3. If you multiply 36 times 3, it's going to be equal to 36 times 3 is going to be equal to 108. Yes, 108 I'm going to write here. Then I'm going to start to count the decimal places from left to right. From right to left. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, and this is going to be 4th one. I couldn't draw. 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one I'm going to put here. This is the 3rd number. The 4th one is going to be here. So this place is empty. We are going to fill the empty places with zeros. Now we are going to continue with the rounding exercises. This is from lesson 4. If you remember the rule here, if you are looking for 1 decimal place, the second decimal you are going to check, and you are going to check the number. If it is 5 or more than 5, you are going to round up. If it is not, you are going to leave the number like that. So here the critical place is this one, because for all of them I'm going to check the 1 decimal place, and here also it's going to be like that. Then I'm going to write this one in terms of 5 point something. 5 point something I'm going to write. It's going to be 5.3, or it's going to stay 5.2. How to run this number? I'm going to check the number before the place that I like. So this number I'm going to check. If this number is bigger than 5, this is going to round up. This number we are going to round up, and it's going to be equal to 3. So 64.73. This number is less than 5, so it's going to stay same, and we are going to write 64.7. And 2.4618. The second decimal place is bigger than 5, so 2.5 is going to be the answer. Run these numbers to 2 decimal places, so you are going to get your the line to after the second decimal. So with respect to 3rd decimal place, you are going to decide about your solution. So here this is greater than 5. So if it is greater than 5, the answer is going to be 23.26. Here it's going to be greater than 5. The 9 is greater than 5. The answer is going to be 5.04. And this is going to be less than 58.24, because this number 3 is less than 5. Round these numbers to 1 significant figure. If you remember, there are 2 conditions here. The first, the significant figures are start with non-zero numbers. So here the first significant figure is 4. Here it is 3. Here it is 7. So non-zero number is 7. Or this is the first significant figure. Here also this is the first significant figure it's going to be. So the 8 is significant figure, and it is asking to run these numbers to 1 significant figure. There are 2 different types of exercises here. This one, it's going to be equal to, for this one it's easy, because when you draw the line here after the first significant figure, you are going to decide like the rounding the number. So you are going to decide with respect to this one, and it's going to be equal to 0.5 or more than 5. This is the case 0.8. This is the answer of it. These are easy. The decimal places, they are easy. This is going to be equal to approximately 0. After the 8, you are going to decide the number 0.0823. So 2 is not greater than 5. That's why this is going to stay same, and it's going to be 0.08. And this is one significant figure, by the way. Here I didn't solve these are because the solution method for these are different, because these are not decimal numbers. Directly you are going to decide with respect to this number here. If it is greater than, if this number is greater than 5, you are going to round this one up. But for this one, you are not going to write, you are not going to cancel the 7, because the number that you should write, it's going to be more than 47, which is equal to, when you round up this one, it's going to be equal to 50. Because the number that you should write, it should be more than 47, because you are rounding up. So for this one, it's going to be equal to 45, and this is 71, which is 7 is greater than 5, so it's going to be equal to 4,600. You round this one, and here it's going to be equal to two significant figures. This is more easier than the other one, because this is going to be equal to 0.062, and you're going to write here 0, but at the end 0 is not written. And this one, it's going to be equal to 0.0032, and after the boundary here, if you have less than 5, you are going to leave it like that. You can write two zeros, but at the end, if you write 2 zeros, it is not written, and this is going to be the end of this lesson.